Hey there, hello and welcome. It is Madeline here, and tonight I want to talk to you about being too busy to meditate, being too busy for self-care in general. And this is prompted because I had a few conversations over the holiday weekend about meditation, the impact of meditation. Hey David, good to see you. And how this COVID-19 business is impacting some of my high achievers and who don't have, now they're saying I don't have time to meditate. So, I want to start with, a dear friend of mine who's also a former client, and she's a nurse and she's working in a COVID hospital. So she's struggling to, a conversation that we had over the weekend was that she's being challenged to keep up her self-care. So the first point I want to make is that when times get tough, right? When your schedule gets busy, when times become even more challenging, that's when it's time to amp up your commitment to your self-care practice, including meditation. And that's when you should expand your self-care practices, including your meditation practice. So my nurse friend said, oh, I'm still meditating, right? Like that's down. So thank goodness, because I drill into my clients' psyches and awareness that meditation is really the foundation for all other well-being practices, and all the badasses in the world have solid meditation practices. So I was happy to hear from her that she's like, oh, I'm meditating. My meditation is solid. That's what's keeping me sane. She said, she's not the only one who said that. But the other, my other practices are falling away because I'm pretty, because I'm working long shifts at the hospital and things are pretty crazy, at the hospital. And so that's her story, but she's got meditation down pat. And, and then I talked to another client last week, and she, so she's being impacted. We're all being impacted by this COVID business. I get that. But, she does business with China, and, her factories were closed for a while, but things are starting to happen. She's working from home. A lot of her professional staff is working from home, but she still has factories and operations happening. So she's going to deal with implementing safety procedures, new safety procedures in her workplaces. But, she said to me last week, I'm meditating twice a day. And you know what, Madeline, that's what's keeping me sane. That's what's keeping me calm. That's what's giving me the ability to think clearly. And she said, sometimes she whispered this to me. She says, sometimes I'm meditating 3 times a day because I teach twice a day, right? So the moral of the story is that meditation is going to expand your time because it expands your awareness, which brings me to a relative that I talked to over the weekend. And he said, so I taught him to meditate some time ago, and, because I'll teach anyone who will let me share meditation with them. So I taught him to meditate some time ago, and he's got a pretty regular practice. So in conversation over the weekend, virtual conversation, I said to him, are you he was explaining how he was so busy, right? So he's in business. Many of his employees have been furloughed, and he's back to doing, a lot of things on his own that he didn't do before, right? And I can hear the stress in his voice now because he's kind of like the one-man show or the two-man show, and I can understand that time is feeling compressed for him. So I asked him, are you meditating daily? He said, I'm meditating, but I'm not meditating daily. I don't have time to meditate daily. Oh, broke my heart. That broke my heart. I don't have time to meditate daily, which brings me back to, yes, you do, right? You do have time for meditating daily, no matter what's going on in your schedule. I'm going to give you some steps for how to incorporate meditation into your day. Make sure that it happens daily. But again, right? When you're meditating daily, a regular meditation practice will expand time. That bears repeating. And it expands time by expanding and increasing your ability to focus. It expands time by improving your ability to process information, your ability to think, your ability to calculate. And I don't mean numbers, including numbers, right? If you're in business, including numbers, but your ability to calculate, this is what I need to do, right? That's what I need to do. A regular meditation practice will instill calm in your life, which means that you're going to be more efficient and more productive in whatever it is that you are doing. So you'll have more time, right? So there's an old Zen proverb that says that you should meditate for 20 minutes every day. Unless you're too busy, then you should meditate for an hour. And it's true, right? So the client that I talked to last week knows that because she's meditating 3 times a day. And sometimes she's meditating longer than I taught her to, right? And expanding your meditation practice, adding minutes to your meditation practice is always encouraged, okay? So, and it reminds me of what Ray Dalio said in his book, Principles. So Ray Dalio is the founder of the largest hedge fund, I forget the name of the hedge fund, but the largest hedge fund in the world, right? So busy guy doing big, amazing things. And in his book, his recent book, Principles, he wrote that he meditates for 20 minutes every day. He starts his day with a 20-minute meditation every day, unless he's got a challenging day ahead of him, or unless he's got an extra busy day ahead of him, at which point he meditates for 40 minutes. He doubles his meditation time. That's a man that knows the impact, right? The big impact of a few minutes of meditation. And, so back to my relative who thinks that he doesn't have time to meditate. You've got 10 minutes, right? You've got at least 10 minutes to start your day with meditation. And Tony Robbins, my teacher, said that, if you don't have 10 minutes if you have 10 minutes for yourself, you don't have a life. And I agree. And I understand that these are, these are unusual times. These are unprecedented times. And like we've never seen before. And, for example, my relative has not been in this position in a long, long time. So it calls for extreme measures like making sure that you meditate on a regular basis, that you carve out that time for yourself on a regular basis. And this is exactly why I have created my meditation mastermind, my Primordial Power Meditation Mastermind, because I know that these are challenging times and they're affecting you, they're affecting different people different ways, but at the heart, whatever it is that's going on with you, however, COVID-19 situation, lockdown, quarantine, working from home, still having to go to work, whatever is going on in your life right now, I know and I promise that a regular meditation practice is going to make it better. Okay, it's going to improve that situation and improve your ability to deal with whatever's going on in your life. Guaranteed. Not too many guarantees in life, but that is a guarantee that I make easily and effortlessly, because I know that it is the absolute truth. Okay, so if you'd like to talk to me about joining my meditation mastermind, right? We're starting this week. I have room for one more person in this cohort. And if you want that to be you, say me in the comments or message me and I'll reach out to you with the details, okay? So how to incorporate a regular meditation into your life. And I thought this was going to be short, right? And I always go longer than I want. So, incorporating meditation into your day, right? Into your busy schedule. Do it first thing in the morning, okay? I teach my clients RPM, rise, pee, meditate, okay? Right, get up, God willing, you're gonna get up in the morning, right? And then once you get up, you're gonna have to pee. And immediately after that, have your meditation, okay? Or as close to that as possible, all right? Because the further away you get from waking, the less likely it is that it's going to happen, okay? So do it first thing in the morning. You'll be glad you did, I promise. Okay? Step number 2 is schedule it, right? So I know you're busy. I know that your calendar is already full. And if you're like my relative or many of my clients, you have a lot going on, right? So, and we know that we high achievers know that, and successful high achievers, right, know that if you don't schedule it, it isn't real. So schedule it, put it in your calendar, especially if you're committed to that twice a day meditation, and you want to do a second one later on in the day, or your only meditation is later on in the day, whatever it is. My nephew and I have a meditation challenge going, and his meditation is often at the end of the day. It doesn't matter when it happens, as long as it happens, okay? First thing in the morning is we'll make it more likely that it's going to happen, and schedule it, right? Because if it's in your calendar, it's real. We schedule what's important to us, right? Our hair appointments, our doctor's appointments, our coach appointments, none of which we can have right now. You can still see your coach because they're working virtually, but we schedule the things that are important to us. We put it on our calendar so we can make sure that they happen. So schedule it. And lastly, certainly but not least, is number 3 is decide. Decide that you're going to do this for yourself. Decide that a regular meditation practice is something that you deserve, right? That you deserve at least 10 minutes a day for you, right? Your meditation practice is putting on your own oxygen mask, right? On a plane, put your own oxygen mask on before helping others, because if you're no good, right? If you fall apart or break down, you're no good to anybody, especially yourself, right? So this is putting your self-care as a priority, right? Give yourself some grace, right? Give yourself some grace during these times, and commit to a meditation practice, right? And decide, step number 3, that you're going to meditate every day for 40 days, okay? And if you'd like love and support and community while you do that, I invite you to reach out to me about my meditation mastermind, okay? Put me in the comments if you want the details, or message me in a private message, and I'll reach out to you with the details, okay? So those 3 steps again, really quickly: RPM, Rise P Meditate, do it as quickly to waking up as possible, as close to waking up as possible. Schedule it. If it isn't scheduled, it isn't real. And decide that you're important enough to give yourself this little bit of self-care, that's going to have major impact in your life. Okay, so I hope this serves you. Let me know what questions you have. Put me in the comments if you want that last spot to go to you. And I will look forward to seeing you in the next video. And until then, I'll see you in the gap. Namaste. Be blessed. Mwah.